quarterback Tyler Van Dyke. We'll open it up for questions for Tyler.
So Jalen just said no video games are allowed at the team hotel. Where does your mind go, night before the game, morning of the game and stuff?
It's all about focus, all about what we worked on the week, and just thinking about that, and also trying to just clear our mind, get a good night rest, and no distractions anymore. And, we're just gonna go out there and show what we can do and play our hardest.
Can you sleep well the night before a game?
Yeah, I sleep well.
Coach told us yesterday that the previous 4 practices have been really good for the receivers. I'm guessing it's been good for you as well if it's good for them. So tell us about that and how the offense is clicking heading into game day.
Yeah, we're clicking really well right now, especially heading into game week. The last 4 or 5 practices, it's been good for the offense as a whole. Completing more balls, catching the ball a lot better than we have been in fall camp. So I'm excited for those guys, and they've been doing a great job.
Is that a general byproduct of just now having worked through the off season, had 4 weeks of practice, and the timing is better?
Yeah, I think timing is better. I think it's all about them knowing what to do during that play, and not trying to focus on what they actually have to do, and just getting there and making the catch. And a lot more focus. Those guys are getting on the jugs machine a lot more, and just working harder at it.
You've got some running backs who could be weapons catching passes. Do you expect maybe even more of that this year?
Yeah, 100%. You guys saw last year at Michigan, those 2 running backs they had catching the ball in the backfield, and obviously we have Rooster and Henry who can also do the same thing. So Coach Gaddis' offense relies on a lot of running backs catching the ball, tight ends, and so I see a lot of that this year.
How nice has it been for you to see Zion back out there the last couple practices?
Yeah, it's been good. He's still working through it, and I talked to him a lot, and he's feeling a lot better. And I'm just excited that he's going to be back soon. So.
How different does Will make this offense when he's healthy?
A lot. Will's a special playmaker, and you have to almost double cover him to stop him. So that's going to bring a lot of attention to him and help the other receivers out and make plays too, because they're going to try to game plan for him especially. So, but yeah, he's a playmaker.
You guys always play through bumps and bruises, but with him having the shoulder, I know they're kind of trying to keep him safe throughout camp. Any precaution during the season with him? Like, do you try to make sure, put the ball in a way where he's not getting smashed by safety or any of that?
Yeah, I'm not going to throw him into the safety and have him get messed up, but he's a big body in the middle. He'll go up and make the play, and if he takes a hit, he takes a hit. But I'm not going to force it in there where he's going to take a big shot. So.
Obviously, the expectation is to get a win in the opening game. But I guess how important is it for this team to set the tone for the win on Saturday?
Yeah, it's very important. It doesn't matter who we're playing. This team is a good team. They brought in a lot of transfers, so we're just going to go out. It doesn't matter who we're playing, and play our hardest. We've got to go dominate up front in the trenches and make plays down the field.
How important is to get a lot of kids playing time, in this first game?
Yeah, we're not so much worried about that. We're just worried about just going in there and dominating. If it happens, it happens. Hopefully we get that, but we got to go in there and dominate up front in the trenches and do what we do best.
How would you describe Rashard Smith as a weapon, and what does he bring to the wide receiver room?
Yeah, Rashard's a great player. One of the fastest guys in there, special playmaker. He's going to bring a lot of those explosive plays coming in. Not even only the pass game, but we have some other stuff made for him like we did last year, and he's a special talent in that receiver. So I'm excited to see him play.
Really curious as a young cornerback. We were hearing coaches talk about him a lot. Do anything in the second scrimmage, or kind of stand out, or do point where you kind of like, hey, this guy's who is this dude?
Yeah, I would say Willie Curtis has been one of the players that has developed the most over. He was a freshman last year, sophomore now. So over this past year, he's been making plays. He's been getting with the ones, twos, and making plays on all the quarterbacks and all the receivers. So, Coach Ponce calls him Wheezy, and he was like, "Better not throw to Wheezy anymore," because he's been making plays, and he's developed a lot.
Just with the secondary in general, a lot of guys returning, but what's different? Have you seen something different with this group, maybe even from spring or a year ago?
Who was that?
The secondary as a whole that you're facing. There's a lot of returners, but is there anything different that you're seeing?
Yeah, a lot of returners. I mean, they press a lot, press bail, and it's been hard on the receivers in fall camp, and I feel like that's been good for us. You know, to struggle a little bit at that in the beginning and make the receivers work. And I think that the receivers have really improved just because they've been doing that, especially with corners like Tyreek, Corey, DJ, you know, Isaiah Dunson, DP. There's a bunch of guys that, like on defense, we have a bunch of starters that might not start, but they're really starters, you know. So especially D-line, you know, the secondary. So I'm excited to see the defense improve this year and watch them play.
Coach Chris, we'll do a couple more. How you've developed as a leader in the past year. How are you taking a role in getting those backup quarterbacks ready for these first 2 games where they're probably going to get some reps?
Yeah, no, we just compete every day, you know. I mean, they get the reps too in practice, whether it's the 2 reps or 3 reps. So, yeah, we make each other make each other better every day in that room, and always push each other. And I know they're ready to play. So.
Tyler, is it a lot different this year? You know, you came into the season last year as a backup behind Derek King, and then he gets injured. You have to come in, you know, and finish out the season. How different is it this year going into, you know, a game where you're the starter in week 1? You've had all this off-season anticipation and hype up to this game.
Yeah, I mean, it is different just because of that aspect where I'm now the guy going to week 1, but my preparation hasn't been any different from this year to last year. I always watched film like I was a starter. I always practiced like I was a starter. So preparation is the same, but as leadership-wise, yeah, it's different. You know, I'm the guy now, so I have to make sure those guys always stay positive and always ready to work.
Have you given Jakari kind of any advice on what it's like being a backup quarterback? Because I know he's a starter in high school for 4 years.
Yeah, no, we all had the same thing coming in. You know, you just gotta just be developed and understand that your time can come whenever, and you always have to prepare like you're the starter. And I always tell those guys too that you guys need to be ready. You never know what can happen.
Has he been doing well with like signaling or, you know, other tasks he gets assigned, I guess?
Yeah, he's been signaling a little bit. He's been going in there too and making some plays, so he's been doing a good job.
Thank you, Tyler.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Thanks.
Oh yeah, I mean during the off season, like I was saying, we've been building that chemistry with different types of people in each group. So with any combination, I feel like we'll have a good, you know, we'll be all in sync and we'll have a good relationship. So I mean we're, you know, dialing things down a little bit, but if anybody's in each of the positions, we'll be fine. He's got 8 linemen that play football, so it's 10. He's playing next to these guys. Yeah. Does it feel different, like a much deeper group this year? Yes, and we got to be leaders enough, me and the older guys, to really bring them up with us so we can make that 10. So it's up to us and up to them as well to really make sure that we bring them up with, you know, us.
How welcome of a sight was it to have Zion back in practice the last couple days?
You know, it's a great, you know, sight to see because, you know, he was a starter, he's been here, and hopefully this year is his last year, and it's good to see him back and getting in, you know, into the game.
With your head coach being a former offensive lineman, is he harder on your group than any other group?
He's hard on every group. I mean, he's with us a lot, but he's hard on every group. You know, that's all I can say about that.
Coach said that or Gaddis said that you guys are kind of going to start this game week settling into the 5 positions that you're going to mostly play. Mm-hmm. Is that a good thing? Is that something you like?
Yeah.
Why is that important to start doing that now?
Because we're getting into the season, so it's really important to really pick the guys we want to win, and that's gonna, you know, help us win these games and help us win championships. So it's good to see the guys that have been putting in the work in the off season and picking them 5 guys and picking a whole 22 guys to really play and be starters for our program.
Yeah, any surprises in those 5 guys?
No surprises because they've been putting in the work. So I wouldn't be, you know, saying, oh, that's surprising, because it's not surprising if you think that guy's been putting in the work and he's earned it.
Well, you are on the edge of the season. You've been through a whole off season, winter, spring, now summer. What's the biggest difference from a year ago with this staff?
Yeah, so with this staff, you know, they're really taking ownership of our team. We're holding each other accountable. You know, we're really being disciplined. As you saw, there's a lot of penalties. We were last in so many different aspects of the game, and now we're taking ownership of that and learning from that. I would say
at practice.
At practice, yes.
Touching on one of the categories you were last year, you guys were one of the worst running teams in the country. How much has bringing in Coach Gaddis really developed that rushing attack for you guys coming into the season?
Well, yeah, we were hoping to improve that anyway. After looking at the numbers, you would be sick if you was, and as a fan. So it's really important, and I'm really thankful that Coach Gaddis and the whole offensive staff came in to really help improve, and this will show, this season.
Jalen, what's your confidence level right now of the offense heading into week 1?
I'm really happy at where we're at right now. Of course, we can be better. I'm never satisfied. So it's really good to see where we're at and build on to that.
It's been a while for you since you played a game, obviously, with your injury. Just how much are you looking forward to Saturday?
I'm looking forward. I mean, it's almost been a year.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to be back out there and be back with my guys and be able to show the fans and my family, that, I have learned from my situation and I'm back out there.
Expect emotional? Like, you thought about what it's going to be like being out there?
I got the emotions out the way. I mean, first game would be surreal because it's the first game back out there and from an injury. But other than that, I'm moving forward and I'm looking forward to being out there.
Some of the coaches are saying just how scary it is when you're pulling and hitting somebody in that run game. How much do you just enjoy that after? You played a lot of tackle, obviously.
Yeah.
How much pulling you did before this?
I mean, I love pulling. I mean, I'm a big guy, and it's great to utilize this size to really remove guys and move guys against their will. So I'm really happy. I've been pulling, since I've been playing football. Football is a physical sport, so I'm happy to really, I think they're playing a gap scheme and that I'm utilizing me, not only me, but other big guys as well.
We'll do 2 more for Jalen.
What would you say, how would you say the offensive line has improved the most? I know you weren't practicing full go in the spring, but, over the last 8-9 months.
We have more of a brotherhood. Of course, we try to build onto that during the off season, during the summer, and still now. We're playing together. We're watching more film together, not just us, but the other offensive guys as well. So I say we're building, like I said before, good comradeship and good, building that chemistry that we've been needing.
Is that something that Coach Cristobal or Coach Mirabal brings to you? Like, that they really emphasize it with you?
They demand it. So of course we got to, listen and take heed of what is being said of guys that know what a winning program is.
Last question for Jalen. Really wants to see what happens when you guys check in the hotel on Friday. Who kind of keeps going to work versus turning their brain off and playing video games. Do you think that mentality has changed?
Yeah, it's a business trip, and we got to treat it like as such. So it's great to see what they're doing, and it's a business trip at the end of the day. So no distractions, no outside noise, just dialing in on the game.
How is that different from? Sorry, I just wanted to follow up on that. How is that different from maybe the recent past?
Yeah, like I said, there's no distractions. But of course, we have video games, other stuff that really took our mind off football. So what we're doing now is really being prepared for our game.
Are there no video games allowed in the hotel and stuff? Really?
Thanks, Jalen.
Thank you.
Thank you.